It's time for Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday.
The North Texas Honda dealers want to help you score some great deals on award-winning Hondas. Stop by your helpful Honda dealer today or visit ntxhondadealers.com to learn more.
Get us your questions.
Good cars.
Good cars. Get us your questions. High school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel, Hawaiian shirts, embarrassing things that Aspen, Pickle's friend Aspen can tell us about Pickle. If you've got those questions, she is available for questions as well. Get to your questions on Facebook. I guess you have YouTube and Twitch up as well.
So
if you got questions there, let us know. The text line is dead apparently, but we can.
Yeah, I got it.
So get your questions in high school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel, etc., etc. So, do we have any questions, Pickle?
We do. Also, just a quick comment that I had never. Andrew Christensen said this. Have you ever heard? Like, I've heard C's get degrees. Have you ever heard D is for diploma?
I have not, but
that's amazing.
Feels good. Feels good, man. Listen.
Factually, that is correct.
Hey, I graduated high school. I graduated college. These are two verifiable facts.
I have the piece of paper.
We do not need to go into details. But like my wife is like this is not going to surprise anybody. My wife is way smarter than I am. I mean, obviously not. She married me, so obviously not like in the street smart sense, but like she's
book smart.
She's way smarter than I am. Like she was like undergraduate student of the year at Mizzou one year, and like she graduated magna cum laude.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's legit smart.
Yeah.
And I have a degree with a minor. I have a minor in economics.
Oh.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't. But it makes sense because you're a numbers guy.
I have a bachelor's of journalism and I have a minor in economics.
Yeah, it explains why you have a complete love for Excel sheets.
I love Excel.
You do.
I love spreadsheets.
Big cell guy.
I love spreadsheets. All
right. Questions. Yeah. Canadian Wildcats winning state again? Question mark.
So it's a good question. And needless to say, this is going to be breaking news to everybody involved. But they're going to be good again. They're always very good. Mm-hmm. They have one of the very best coaches in the state, and I'd put Chris Ketting against any high school football coach in the nation and feel good about it.
Oh yeah.
So that they're all like. Their bad years are like, oh, no, we only made it to the third round of the playoffs. Like, that's a bad year. Like, oh, what's wrong with Canadian, right? Here's where I have some concerns about Canadian, okay? And we're picking nits here about a team that we have ranked third in the state, okay, and picked to win their region, right? Right. So we're picking nits here. One, they got to find a quarterback. Now, they've never really had trouble finding a quarterback. No. That's not been an issue for them. But, look, they got to replace a guy. They got to go out there. It sounds like the guy they're going to go to is Cameron Cavalier. It's Andy Cavalier, who I believe is their defensive coordinator. It's his son. He's a sophomore. It sounds like he's going to take over. Josh Colwell was very, very good for them. Obviously led them to a state championship last year. But it is going to be a sophomore quarterback. And, sophomore quarterbacks don't, there's a lot of question marks there. Mm-hmm. Another question that we have for them is going to be on the defensive side. Like, they are losing a lot of key guys. Like, Reagan Cochran was such a big part of what they did defensively last year, and he's gone. I think he's at West Texas, right? That's a question. Now, look, here's the thing. Now, well, it's weird because I would say they're the favorite in their district, and it's true, but at the same time, like, Spearman and Childress are not any pushovers, right? They will have 5 games to get ready before the games count, okay? And then they're going to get into the playoffs, and they'll be favored in round 1. It'll be probably round 2 before things get really hairy for them. With that said, look, I think that they're the Region 1 favorite until somebody proves them wrong. I think Childress is on the come-up. I think Spearman's got one of the very best players in the state, Brennan Thompson. A lot of things can go this way or the other.
But if hurdles get figured out in the first 5 weeks, then the train starts rolling again.
They are right, exactly right. And I think that you doubt Canadian, you doubt Chris Ketting. He's on that very short list of like, is Chris Ketting still there? Then I don't really worry about them. Yep. They're going to be in the mix. Would I pick them to win a state championship right now? No, probably not. Yeah. I probably wouldn't, to be real honest. Mm-hmm. But because I think they would have to play Gunner in a semifinal.
Yep.
Presumably if they come out of Region 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then we still like Franklin.
Yeah.
They're the number 1 team in 3A Division II to start the year, and they
so.
very nearly took down Canadian in the title game last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're in the mix, and I think you are a fool if you think Canadian's going away just because they are graduating one of the very best, most talented senior classes they've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a long answer to a short question.
Yeah. Let's go with...
That's the name of this pod. The subheading of this podcast is, that's a long answer to a short
question. Let's see. This is interesting. I was watching a video about a Texas high school football coach working an 80-hour week.
Mm-hmm.
Is that extreme, or is that what most coaches in the state are doing, obviously in season?
So in season, we're talking in season. A lot of it comes down to, A, what kind of program we're talking about.
Yes.
And B, plain and simple, like, are these coaches teaching classes?
Yeah,
and
that's
like
another
that?
thing.
Because remember, you have to be a full-time educator. You have to be a full-time employee of the school district in order to be a coach, a Texas high school football coach in the UIL.
Right.
And so, 80 hours may be on a little bit of the extreme side, but it's not so far off. I mean, I've had conversations with coaches who are talking about, you have a game on Friday night, and then 5 a.m. you're back there on Saturday, breaking down film, getting things ready for film study that day. I mean, I don't think 80 hours is necessarily all that extreme. I would say in the season, it probably settles into about, like, the average is probably between 60 and 70.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But
just compare it to how much we start working it to a certain extent during that portion.
Let's just put it this way. Let's think about it this way, right? And obviously, they're not, like, nose to the grindstone the entire time. But I want you to think about a Friday, okay? A Friday where you have a game at 7:30 p.m. You're probably getting to school at 7 a.m.
Yep.
The game's you're probably not leaving. Maybe you're running to go grab lunch or dinner for a minute, right? But you're probably there from 7 a.m. until 11:30?
Yeah.
Midnight? Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's generous, too.
Yeah, and so you're talking about, that's a 15-hour day.
Right.
And so right there, that's a big chunk. So, what I've learned from coaches is that in a lot of ways, Sunday is the real, like, it is the Sabbath. But in Texas high school football circles, it also is as well. That, like, you might be, and even then, a lot of guys are pouring through huddle, or a lot of guys are going over film, or a lot of guys are game planning and stuff.
And
so I don't think 80 hours is necessarily all that outside the realm of possibility. Do I think it's on the more extreme end? Yeah, but I don't think it's necessarily all that crazy.
Well, and something else to note too, and just knowing from growing up in a small town, like sometimes we would play games, like some of our district games were over 2 hours away or 2.5 hours away. So like that's a lot of travel time for smaller schools. And the other thing, Terry Crawford, our good buddy, is in the comments, and he's in season year round, because if you're at a 1A school, you're coaching, and if you're at anything below a 6A almost, you're not just coaching one sport,
Well, Terry Crawford's a good example of a guy we were just talking to, and I think people are thinking of, like, how many hours did Chad Morris work at Allen, right? And that's a good question. Probably close to between 70 and 80, right? But then but that would be during football season, right? He's also not the athletic director, and
he just gets to football.
And he just gets to football, right? A guy like Terry Crawford there at Abbott, right? Class 1A. He's also like the assistant baseball coach.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And he's also like he has some sort of hand in the basketball team.
Or
right?
all the head coaches that are also the AD. Like when you share that position, then you're out at every volleyball game basically, or every basketball game.
I don't think 80 hours is outside the realm of possibility at all. I think that I'm not going to say it's the norm, but I will say that it is not necessarily all that crazy. So, again, long answer, short question.
Here will be another one, and we're going to welcome in our good buddy, Guy Frazier. Hi, Guy. He said, hearing some good things
Did he send in a plus sign?
He did earlier,
okay.
Which means we made it. Hearing some good things out of Marlin lately, better crop of talent and coaching staff than what they've previously had from my point of view. What are y'all's thoughts on them for Syntex 2A?
I have heard those same things. Ruben Torres, the new coach there, has come in, and there's some buzz around them. Now look, he's taking over a team. Let's set the expectation here. He's taking over a team that was 4-5, right, last year, and according to my records, they have not. I mean, they're 3 years removed now from an 0-10 season. I mean, this is a program that is going to need some building. I'm not saying Marlin's going to go out there and win a state championship this year.
No.
What I will say is guys like Trajan Butler, guys like Darian Gillette, guys like Ty Harris. They've got some dudes they feel really good
Step
about.
said linebacker transfer as well.
Sure.
About
I don't know about
he says
that.
He thinks it's a linebacker.
We have them in the playoffs. They were in the playoffs last year, got bounced in the first round in a big way by Bosqueville. We have them in the playoffs. I also don't think, how do I say this without being disrespectful to Italy, Kearns, and Dawson? I don't know if there's a world,
probably just don't say it.
I don't know if there's a world beater in that
No,
district.
I don't
think
think
there's a
so
world
either.
beater in District 8. And so you look at 8-2A Division 1, and I don't necessarily know that there's some team that you're necessarily shaking in your boots about. And by the way, look at that whole region, right? I mean, the team that won the region last year was Crawford. And Crawford has some, has a few pieces to replace, but I will just say that if you're Marlin and you can mature quickly and you can all buy in on what Ruben Torres is selling and things like that, there's a lot of upside there. I have heard that same thing from coaches. Of them saying, keep an eye on Marlin, they're on the come up. So it's not necessarily surprising that you're
Oh, it was
Jure
Bledsoe.
Jure Bledsoe.
From Bremond.
Okay.
The defensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That doesn't hurt.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would just keep an eye on Marlin's one of those sleeper teams that we haven't thought about in a long, long time. They have some history. They've been good in the past. Haven't been good recently.
Are they the Marlins?
Their program, they are not. They're the Bulldogs. Another missed opportunity.
Yeah,
but
Frogs.
Yeah, I would say keep an eye on Marlin. They're one of those kind of 2A D1. That's a real hipstery pick. Is Marlin? It's real hipstery.
Guy seems like that would be a good hipster pick for Guy. There you go, Guy.
Yeah.
Let's see if you were able to.
Was it Guy or was it Mike Roach doing Guy? Doing the Guy impression.
I don't know. Both are elite.
They're great. Anyway, what's up?
If you were able to switch lives with one movie character, who would it be?
With a movie character. Boy. I mean, being Richie Rich seems cool, right?
Yeah.
That's a real cop out. I don't want there to be any real peril in my life. I don't want to go and I don't know.
No, you want to be the awesome supporting cast member. You know that nothing bad really happens to them.
Who
They're
has
just cool.
the best life? Truman from the Truman Show, right? That's a weird life, but I would just you get to live in Seaside. That seems cool. Mm-hmm. And the whole world kind of revolves around you. That seems kind of cool. All you got to do is just shut up and let it happen, Truman. Oh, I want to go to, where do you say you want to go? Bora Bora. I don't know. I had to watch Truman Show again. But then Ed Harris is up in the sky and he's yelling at you. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Who, what movie character, everyone talks about all the movie characters who have terrible arcs and stuff like that,
Yeah.
Nothing but bad news. I'm trying to think of what's the opposite of that. What's a movie character that it's nothing but good things.
I guess if I had to choose one, and I don't necessarily
no
have a
conflict.
specific thing, but I guess if I thought of what would be a really cool movie character to be, some sort of spy or something, if I could be James Bond,
Yeah, but
I feel
you get
that would
shot at.
I know, but I would be really cool as a human, rolling around.
Well, I can't stress enough that you get shot at.
Yeah, but
That seems like a no-go for me.
He didn't die, so.
I don't know. Maybe you know who seems like they've got a pretty good life?
Who?
What's the name of the Andy from Toy Story? Right?
Yeah.
He just gets to hang out and play with his alive toys that he doesn't know are alive. That seems pretty basic.
But wouldn't it be cooler if you knew that they were alive?
I guess that's true. I don't know. Maybe Lightning McQueen. That's what I want to be. I want to trade. I want to be.
He kind of goes through some stuff too, though.
Yeah, but he brings it on himself. I'd be much smarter than that. Anyway, I don't know. Also, my son's watching Cars these days. So
Andrew Christensen said the grandpa off of Willy Wonka, he laid in bed for 10 years and miraculously gets up to go to a candy factory.
Man, that's a great point.
Oh, my God.
That's a great point.
I think he just hit I don't even like sweets, and I have to respect that.
Yeah, but then I have to be old.
That's true, but there's a lot worse things than being old.
Yeah. Maybe I'd be Willy Wonka.
Oh, that's cool. Just own the chocolate factory?
Own the chocolate factory and then never let anybody in.
It's all for me.
For me. I'm not even going to sell it.
For me.
I'm not even going to sell it. I'm just going to be rich and enjoy all this candy. All right. We got an ender?
Oh.
No.
No, we have two. Can we do two?
Yeah,
two
we
enders.
got two.
Okay, real fast.
Golly.
We're gonna go with.
Come on, Schlee.
Oh God, darn it. Would you put on the stripes and be an official?
Yes.
Cool.
I
There. Okay, that's a quick.
And by the
ender.
way, I have to do my
Yeah,
annual,
this is a
my
PSA.
annual PSA.
Yeah.
There is a legit official shortage in the state of Texas. So if you are somebody who wants to be a part of Texas high school football, you want to do, make a little bit of money. You're not going to get rich, but the officials that I talk to love what they do. They get to be a part of the action on Friday night. Then please contact TASO, T-A-S-O, I believe it's taso.org, and become a Texas sports official. We could certainly use you. They'll train you up, make a little bit of money. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that's a cool job.
And then the other thing is, if you don't want to be an official, lay off them.
Yeah.
Like, the reason there's an official shortage, or one of the reasons there's an official
Because
shortage,
you people are savages.
is because everyone's yelling at them, and who would want that job? So you can do your part there. But yes, I would absolutely put on the stripes and do that. We've kicked around that idea of doing that, and like hooking me up with the GoPro and let me go out
like a scrimmage,
like a spring game or a scrimmage or something like that. That'd be fun.
The dome cam.
Yeah, just put it on my big old dumb head. It'd be fun. All right, give me an ender.
All right, what is your hidden talent? Something that you're really good at that a lot of people might not know.
Something I'm really good at.
I know Aspen's.
Aspen, what's your hidden talent?
Duck walking. She can duck walk like a champion.
I don't know what that means.
Oh boy.
Do it for me. Turn the camera.
I wish we had a...
Turn the camera. Here we go. Turn the camera.
Hang on.
This is fun.
Oh God, no! Turn that camera.
Oh God. Okay, you're watching live coverage.
This is amazing. Do you have enough room to do it there? You're gonna need to angle it down a little bit. This is amazing. Can you do it? Okay. It's been a couple years. Go. Okay, so we used to do the story behind that. We used to do
Imagine tuning into this show for the first time.
We used to do every Friday during off season. We would have different like competitions and stuff that you could do, and duck walking was one of them. We would do a relay like that, and she was the first round draft pick every single time because she can really get going. Do you have a secret talent like duck walking that you can do?
No, I'm pretty bad at everything.
You gotta have something.
You know what? I'll give myself a little bit of credit. I'm a pretty good cook.
Okay.
I'm a pretty good
I'll take
cook.
that. I'll take that as an answer.
I'm not elite. I'm not here to tell you that I'm gonna cook you dinner, but like, because you're not invited. But
That's fair.
I will say I'm a pretty good cook, and I think I'm all right at that. That's probably my secret talent.
Okay.
I think. What about you?
I can hula hoop like a champ.
That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.